Bum, 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 bum. What's up, guys? Welcome to like 23 college football season is in the books. Finally, that episode was on Monday. I did a recap of that, my thoughts on the game. You can go check it out. All right, this video is gonna be a really cool video because I'm gonna recap the 2023 season. Boy, it is a good season too. How am I gonna recap this? Because this season was just absolutely fantastic season. There's no better season than this one, and it did live up to the hype. It did. It honestly lived up to the hype as such. Boy, it was a good season. I mean, look, for regular season, let's go to games. I mean, this season. I mean, let's go back to week 1, and this is a chance for me to go back and really look at the season and see, reflect on the season itself. And it is really a powerful thing to do. We'll go back to week 0, folks. We'll go back to week 1 or week 0. We'll start off there. Let's look at it. So we started off. Can't believe. Okay. So we started the season back in August 26th of 2023. You know, the big game that day, obviously, was Navy versus Notre Dame. Because it's a game. Of course, then we come to Thursday. You have the Utah, Florida game, Minnesota, Nebraska. And then on Friday, you had U of A versus Georgia Tech. Of course, Miami versus Miami, Florida. Then on Saturday, you had pretty decent games. I mean, you had, Indiana versus Ohio State. Let's see here. Tennessee versus Virginia. Colorado versus TCU was supposed to be a big game of that day. And we go. So this was a game how the season started. Game on Sunday, Florida State, LSU. And of course, Clemson versus Duke on Monday. Labor Day. So there's that. Anywho, let's get started. Where was I? Okay, so this is week 2. Got this is the season. Then Illinois, Kansas game, Kansas scene. Then we go to Saturday, and you got Texas, Alabama. Week 2 was a really good game. Really good match. That would be a really good game. NC versus Notre Dame became a good game. Texas Tech versus Oregon became a good game. Ole Miss versus Tulane. Nebraska versus Colorado, big one. A&M versus Miami. What else was the game? Then we moved. I'm just going to the games, big games. Look at the season, and it was a really good season. I'm happy. Look, we go back in the season, look at highlights and your favorite teams, and look back. Those who made bowl games, congratulations to bowl games, and those who won the championship. I went to Michigan winning that championship. We move on. We had pretty decent game. Go to what was it? Saturday. Washington, Michigan State. Penn State versus Illinois. Not a great matchup. Georgia Tech versus Ole Miss. Let's see here. Any good matchup this day? I just want this few Saturdays of the year we have not great games, but hey, that's what it is. Let's see here. Any good games? Hey, that's a good one. Ohio State versus Notre Dame. Who remembers this game? Ohio State versus Notre Dame. I do. That was a heck of a game too. Also, Clemson versus Florida State had to be a really good game. Just saying. That had to be a good game. Ole Miss versus Alabama. Come on, that was a good game. Colorado versus Oregon was a pretty decent. And then Utah versus UCLA. That day. Washington State versus Oregon State. Anything else? Yeah, pretty much those were the big games that day. Let's continue. Shall we? We shall. We go Thursday. We got Oregon State versus Utah on Friday. That was a good game. That's probably the best game in that. It was the 29th. Then go to 30th. Any good games here? Georgia versus Auburn. Let's see here. Colorado versus USC. That was a hell of a game. That was a heck of a game. Duke versus Notre Dame. Ole Miss versus LSU. Happened to be a good game. Throughout the season, we had a few games. Let's see here. Week 6. Best game. Oklahoma versus Texas. The Red River Shootout was a heck of a game. Arizona versus USC. That was a good game. That was a triple overtime. And then Louisville versus Notre Dame. Who remembers that game? A&M versus Alabama that day. Also played the same day. Let's go to week 7. Sorry. Week 7. Okay. Any good games? Saturday. USC versus Notre Dame. And Oregon versus Washington were the best 2 games that day. Miami versus North Carolina. And UCLA versus Oregon State. Let's go week 8 and 9. Week 8. Penn State versus Ohio State. Duke versus Florida State. Tennessee versus Auburn. And Tennessee versus Alabama. Ole Miss versus Auburn, a good game. USC versus Utah. Man, that was a good game. Without that, it would be a good game. Also, what season has been for Arizona? Shout out to Arizona. I mean, this is the best year Arizona has had. Of course, from one team to, 10-2 team. Also to Missouri. Shout out to Missouri. Those 2 are the best teams. They just turned the program around. Also, Western just turned around the program. Hats off to them. Let's see. Oregon versus Utah on October 28th. Happy to be a good game. Colorado versus UCLA. Also that day. Duke versus Louisville became an interesting game. Now we can go week 10. Alright, week 10. We're getting closer to the end of the season. Can you do that? Any good games? Of course, the Georgia-Missouri game. Washington versus USC happens to be a hell of a game. LSU versus Alabama. Oklahoma versus Oklahoma State. Ole Miss versus Texas A&M. Penn State versus Maryland. You had Oregon State versus Colorado. Notre Dame versus Clemson. And what else do you have? Okay. Alright, week 11. Here we go. Week 11, I think, was the best weekend because one of the best games of the day was Ole Miss versus Georgia. You had the Michigan Penn State game. You have the Miami versus Florida State game. You have Utah versus Washington. You have USC against Oregon. You have Tennessee versus TCU. You have Kentucky against Alabama. You have Missouri against Tennessee. Any good game? And Arizona versus Colorado. Alright, here we go. Week 11. Now week 12. Here we go. Colorado versus State. That was a oh yeah. Colorado blew a really good coverage. They blew a really bad led halftime and 14-0. Blew that. Oh my gosh. How can you do that? Man, God. Georgia versus Tennessee, Ohio State versus Minnesota, Michigan versus Maryland became a really good game. Washington versus Oregon State. What else you had? Arizona versus Utah. North Carolina versus Clemson. Clemson. My Clemson. No. Come on. Oh, I see what happened. Okay, this is for some. Here we go. All right, here we go. Oregon versus Oregon State. Who won that game? Ohio State versus Michigan. Oh, this is wide weekend. You know, the Egg Bowl on Thursday, then the Oregon State versus Oregon. You had, of course, Michigan versus Ohio State, the game. Washington versus Florida versus Florida State. Alabama, Auburn. Happy to be a great game. Everybody remember that? Because I do. Alright. Here we go. Then you had the Army versus Navy game. It happened to be a really good game. I'm gonna go back week 14. There's an error. Hold up. I don't know what is happening here. Hold up. Alright, then conference championship weekend, know that. Oregon versus Washington, making a good game. UGA versus the SEC championship, best game. Oklahoma versus Texas beat Oklahoma State. Florida State beat LSU. It's a Louisville. They did beat LSU this season. Now we get to bowl game season. And when we get to bowl games, 2-0 so. And then we get bowl games on December 16th. The best bowl games of the year were, let's see here, probably the Stucco Brands LA Bowl between Boise State and USLA. What else we have? Northwestern versus Utah. Became a good game. Here we go. The DirecTV Holiday Bowl between USC and Louisville. Texas Act Bowl between A&M and Oklahoma State. Here we go. It's another good bowl game. The Valero Alamo Bowl between Arizona and Oklahoma became a good game. The Pop Star Bowl game between NC State and Kansas State became a good game. The Goodyear Cotton Bowl between Missouri and Ohio State. Oregon State versus Notre Dame for the 20 Tigers Sun Bowl was not a great game, but that's an interesting game there. That's a good game there as well. The Texas Slugger Bowl between Clemson and Kentucky. And of course, playoffs. The Rose Bowl between Alabama and Michigan. And the Sugar Bowl between Washington and Texas. The Fiesta Bowl between Oregon and Liberty. The Rockfest Bowl between LSU and Wisconsin. And Tennessee against Iowa in the Season Bowl. And of course, the 2023 National Championship game in Houston to close the season. Overall, the season was great. Great season. But all teams played well. This was a really good year. I just cannot wait for another college season. I cannot wait next year. It's playoff spending, conference spending. So it's been a wonderful year. College teams who won, college Michigan, which is the national championship game. Those who made the bowl games. Those who made the playoffs. And even if they make a bowl game playoffs, I hope the future's bright, but hopefully they can do better next year. It's been a wonderful season. As a college football fan, once again, Pac-12. My God, each week got Pac-12 put really good games. Several weeks of the game, they were really every week. There's a really good game. Was the Pac-12 or anyway, but every week there was a really close game. Upsets nearly every week. It was a really good season. I'm happy to be a college football fan. Enjoy another football season. I cannot wait for next year. Like, subscribe to my channel, comment down below. I spoke to one. I'll see you next video. Peace.